welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards because Commander's number one. Sorry, that intro went a little long. My wife brought me a drink there. How's it going? First off, Slothy, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. We had a busy set of weekends. We're going to do let's do the face-to-face kind of recap stuff with Brian when we're there, talk a little bit about the event. Everyone who came out to the event, it was really great to see you guys. It was fun, a lot of fun. Today we wanted to, your audio wasn't working, so we weren't able to really jump into this deck, and I really did want to cover this one before the event, but kind of is what it is. We were able to do Rhea. You're back. You're working today. Brian's off today, so everyone tell Brian hello from beyond. This one is one of the Wilds of Eldraine Commander.
Yeah.
And it's as soon as you saw it, you really, really like this one. So I'll let you take it away of what it is and who it is, and we'll get right into this one because I'm pretty excited about this list.
Absolutely. So we got Imodane the Pyrohammer, 2 double red for a 4/4 legendary human knight. Whenever an instant or sorcery spell you control that targets only a single creature deals damage to that creature, Imodane deals that much damage to each opponent. It's ridiculously strong.
It's a pretty wacky ability, right? Because like the easiest explanation of it is with Lightning Bolt, right? Lightning Bolt's a classic. Yeah. So you Lightning Bolt my Llanowar Elves, 9 damage to opponents.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
still dead Llanowar Elves. Right. So it's I think again, they've been really making Burn's not been viable in Commander for a long, long time, right? But because burning through 120 life points is a lot. But this again now makes it so you only have to really burn through 40.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it way easier.
And burning through 40 is nothing.
Yeah, especially with all the damage amplifiers that we've got nowadays. It's not difficult.
Yeah, it's interesting that it's targets only a single, so they obviously thought immediately of like Star of Extinction, Blasphemous Act, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Can't just wipe the board with play Blasphemous Act, win the game.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a little busted.
Yeah, right? Let's again, this is a really budget commander, like a 49-cent rare. Even the whole list overall is pretty low, like 224 kind of thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap, and there's a couple cards you can cut out that will bring that down even more.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's jump right into artifacts. We have one.
Yep.
Not even Soul Ring. It's not even that. Take it away.
Yeah, I do have Soul Ring in this deck. I just kind of custom sectioned it. But we got Swiftfoot Boots, 2 mana. Equipped creature has hexproof and haste, and it has equipped for 1.
Yeah, zoom. Oh, you have your ramp like aside in another spot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me scroll later. Let's go to your second one then. Do you want to do creatures?
Sure.
So first we've got Birgi. Obviously, you got to have Birgi in any deck that's going to spell sling. Birgi, God of Storytelling, 2 and a red for a 3/3 god. Whenever you cast a spell, you add a red, which is really helpful when you're trying to produce red mana to burn people. Until end of turn, you don't lose the mana as steps and phase ends. Creatures you control can boast twice. I don't think that's going to matter.
Not in the slightest, no.
Right, and then on the backside, we have the Harnfell, Horn of Bounty, 4 and a red. You can discard a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. Useful in a lot of decks, but I don't think this is the one we're really going for. I think you're using that for that ramp, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The ramp side is just awesome.
Fair.
Then we've got Brash Taunter. He's 4 and a red for a 1/1 goblin with indestructible. Whenever Brash Taunter is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponent, and you can pay 2 and a red to tap and have it fight another target creature.
That's a cool one, so you can double your damage up.
Yeah, that, and opponents aren't always going to have creatures out with this deck on.
Yeah, true.
So having something indestructible that you can target and still deal the damage to each opponent is really nice.
It's also such a phenomenal blocker to keep up. Right?
Yeah.
And again, even phenomenal blocker, be able to just throw that, fights another target creature later on. You have a 30/30. Whoops.
Oops.
Yeah, right?
Deal with him.
You have your Dual Caster Mage. 1 double red for a human wizard with flash, 2/2. When it enters, you copy target instant sorcery spell. You may choose new targets. I like it offense. I like it defense. That's pretty great in the deck, right? Lutri from the command zone. Unban my boy.
Which we did nothing wrong.
Yeah, they oughter do it.
Next up, we've got Erebor Flamesmith, 1 and a red for a 2/1 Dwarf Artificer. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Even before we go on this list, I like stuff like this because this is how you get your games going, right? Not every game has to be like a 3-hour visit fest. I like sometimes when there's a bit of a clock, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely pretty fun to see. So I like these kind of things. You also, following that up, you have your Firebrand Archer, 1 and a red. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, 1 damage to each opponent. And that can really, really stack up.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that turns that lightning bolt into a 12 damage.
Yeah, exactly.
And still a lightning bolt.
Yeah, one creature is probably pretty much gone.
Oh, yeah.
And then 12 damage to everybody. Can't complain about that.
The fun thing is that it doesn't even need to be gone. Let's say that, let's say there's nothing out. I've got a 5/5 commander out. You can still lightning bolt it and rock that 12 damage across the board, right? It doesn't.
100%.
It doesn't have to be if that creature dies, which is a normal staple on cards like this, right? This is just if it takes damage, what's up?
Yeah, exactly. Then keeping that train going, we've got Gutter Snipe, 2 and a red for a 2/2 Goblin Shaman. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, Gutter Snipe deals 2 damage to each opponent.
Having the 3 of those out would be phenomenally mean.
4 damage on top of whatever Imodane does.
Yeah, right. 4 damage on top of it. Just then getting Grape Shot,
Yeah,
I'm sure you got a Grape Shot in here.
100%.
That's gross. You have your Recruiter because you want to be able to go tutor things. 2 and a red for an Imperial Recruiter, Human Advisor, 1/1. When it enters, you search your library for a creature with power 2 or less, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. I personally don't know what you would tutor in this deck. I assume any of those recent ones, but there may be other things too, right?
Yeah, it kind of depends on where the game's at.
That's fair. Power 2 or less. You can also tutor out the Brash Taunter really easy, which is a great tutor for that. Yeah, the Recruiter is going to fetch a lot of good stuff in this deck because a lot of it's really low power.
Yeah. And the next one we've got is Kessig Flamebreaker, 1 and a red, for a 1/3 Human Shaman. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it deals 1 damage to each opponent.
This is rough. I play a lot of decks that are like Tempting Warren kind of stuff that let you dump so many creatures out. That'd be brutal. Yeah, I dump these out. You have Neheb the Eternal, which is going to be like an all-star card in this deck. Because again, like we said with the Lightning Bolt example, the 9 damage for 1 Lightning Bolt. Neheb already has Afflict 3, so if you block him, you lose 3 life. The 4/6, which is a beefy number already, at 5, 3, and 2 red. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, you add 1 red for each life your opponents have lost this turn. This can really, really get out of control pretty quickly because, like I said, even just the Lightning Bolt thing, that's going to be you spend 1 to make 9. And if they printed something that was spend 1 red mana, turn it into 9 red mana, it would be sold out till the end of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like that's you dropping Atali's no problem. That any of those cards, like there's not many cards in red you can't cast that don't have an X in them. You're nearly hitting Titans on a Lightning Bolt with that card. Right, so that just gets even worse for like if you throw like a Lava Axe, like just do you got Lava Axe in this deck? Probably not.
No, I think that was actually one of the cuts that I made.
Lava Axe, not a good burn spell, but again, that's 5 damage, and that's 15 mana generated from Neheb. That's gonna really, really be gross. Like the Neheb in this deck, I would say I don't say often that there's cards that are a must, but in this deck, Neheb's a must, right?
Yeah.
Like it's,
if you want to be able to keep things going, Neheb's instrumental for that.
It's gonna, from the turn it comes out, be a problem.
Oh
yeah.
Next one up is Stormkiln Artist, 3 and a red for 2/2 Dwarf Shaman. Gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control, and whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token.
Yeah, that's also great.
Yeah.
You can never find this card.
No.
Did it get recently reprinted too? Commander Masters, they finally reprinted it. But before that, it was only Strixhaven. Like, that was brutal to try find these.
Yeah, 100%. You kind of had to. This one you kind of had to pull.
I really should go pick up a bunch of these ones just because they're so useful to have in like your building toolbox. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
You've also got your stuffy doll because it's what you need in a deck like this. 5 for a 0/1. You can also tutor that one out. Indestructible. As it enters, you choose a player, which is just like a middle finger to that player in general. It's, Daniel, I don't like what you're doing. Just what's up now? Whenever it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to the chosen player. So again, a phenomenal blocker. And then you can make it tap to damage itself. Gross.
Yeah, how do you feel about taking double damage for any spells that I target?
Yeah, right.
Stuffy doll with.
Well, and that's exactly it. That's at least with Brash Taunter, you can pretend you're being mean, but this one is just hey, what's up? This is I hate everything, but I hate everything in that direction particularly.
I hate everything. But
yeah,
I hate
right.
what you're doing just a little bit more.
It's definitely not so bad at all.
No.
Yeah, you take Torolf here.
Sure. Yeah, we've got Torolf, God of Fury, 2 double red for a 5/4 legendary creature god. It's got Trample, and whenever a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls is dealt excess non-combat damage, Torolf deals damage equal to that excess to any target other than that permanent. And then it flips into Torolf's Hammer, 1 in a red for legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature has 1 in a red, and tap to unattach Torolf's Hammer. It deals 3 damage to any target and return it to its owner's hand.
Yeah, right.
And then there's more to this that I always forget. Equipped creature gets +3/+0 as long as it's legendary and equipped for 1 in a red.
I always forget that it has an enchantment. You never see it played as that like equipment.
No, it's kind of like the same thing as Burgi. I don't think I've ever seen the backside played.
I play it in the Faldorn deck where you can do you make wolves from exile. I gotta play that over the weekend. It actually is pretty gross.
Fair.
Yeah, right. Like, because you discard a card, you go. I think it's 2. Yeah, exile the top 2. Yeah. So you can hit lands. You get a lot of wolves with that deck. That deck is actually pretty silly.
Fair.
Yeah, I like it. So
I don't think I got to play against that one.
No, that was day 1. I was being a little obnoxious with that one, a little silly. That was in. Enough. It'll be on the it'll be up on the YouTube, but that was one of the most frustrating games I think I've seen anyone play. Connor was out with his like wild like judge layer deck where everything is changing the layers and islands become mountains and mountains only tap for plains, and it was quite a game. That's the one I was playing that one in. And then obviously, yeah, you have your young Pyromancer down here, which is great. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you create a 1/1 red elemental at 1 in the red for a 2/1. You can tutor out nearly all of your cards with that. Like you can't hit Neheb, you can't hit Torolf, and I think you can't hit Burgi. Yeah. But everything else in that section is good to grab.
Yeah.
Which definitely isn't too bad. Let's hit your instance.
Instance, sure. We've got 7 of them.
Building like me.
Starting it off. We've got Big Score, 3 in a red. As additional cost to cast it, discard a card, draw 2, and create 2 treasure tokens.
Yeah, pretty good. I like that loot one. You have your Chaos Warp because that's just, I think, one of the better removals in the game. Indestructible 100%. Doesn't matter, right? 2 in a red, the owner of target permanent shuffles into the library, reveals the top card. If it's a permanent, they put it on the battlefield. You love to see it.
That reminds me of last weekend as well. Brian Chaos Warped, I think it was my Mana Weft Sliver. And I end up flipping into the first sliver.
That's a pretty bad trade-off.
I thought it was just fine.
Yep, that's a pretty rough trade. I hate a long time ago. I Chaos Warped with 2 copies on the stack, and I hit 2 really, really annoying cards. I hit someone's Avacyn, and then I hit their Kalia. Okay. And they opted to shuffle Kalia into the deck. They shuffled Avacyn into the deck, and they hit both of them with the cut. It was wild. I've never seen something like that. The likelihood of doing it, like they shuffled up, flipped, it was Avacyn. I was like, oh no, this is bad news. This is really bad news. Because I knew that Kalia player was coming at me next, right? And then I was like, whatever. They still at least shuffled their commander, and nope, they hit Kalia too. They're like, you cut the deck, I cut it, and tears came out. Right?
I will cast Warp your Avacyn and your Kalia. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if those cards come back out after you Chaos Warp them, you know where they're pointing the next turn.
100%.
Yeah, right? You've also got your Radiate. Oh, by the way, hello, Thunder. Thunder's in the chat there, too.
Hey, Thunder.
Yeah, great spot. If you're on Patreon, you can come visit us in the chat, and there's chats after as well. Anyways, back to it. Radiate is probably going to be the silliest card in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
If Radiate resolves, it's very likely to end the game. I'll let you talk on Radiate because I'm sure it's a your baby card in this deck.
Yeah. So Radiate is 3 double red. You can choose target instant or sorcery that targets only a single permanent or player. And for each other permanent or player it could target, create a copy of that spell, and each one targets a different one of those permanents or players.
That's disgusting.
This is ridiculously disgusting.
On a 10 creature board, 6 mana is 90 damage with a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it would also target the players. You will lightning bolt yourself, but boo-hoo. That's a price I'm willing to pay.
Yeah, you'll lose all your creatures.
You might not even lose all your creatures.
In
this deck you will, yeah.
A lot of your creatures in this deck you will.
But again, it's Radiate is wild, and the fact that it's the copy on the stack, you'd be generating your Stormkill, going to generate you 10, which is gross. There's Radiate's just such a fun card to get off. I started playing that in the Firesong Sunspeaker, where I can get the lifelink, and it just really, really does some phenomenal work. I like that one a lot. That's a good choice there. You also have your Reverberate, a lot of copy spells I see here. Double red, copy target instant or sorcery. You may choose new targets for the copy. I've actually been using this a lot of time lately in red decks to take people's ramp with them. You want to cultivate? Let's cultivate. I've been actually having really good success with like just using these low. I put a Kess back together, and that's one of the things that I do in the Kess deck is I specifically try and copy those ramps because I don't like the opposition agent flash that you could do. That's not fun. I hate that card.
Fair. Yeah.
But it's just so funny to like if someone says like I cast cultivate and you say response, that's usually not going to be looked at good. It's what? But then I'm just coming with you. Just reverberate. All right. But my eyes are on you. I'm watching. Yeah, reverberate's a really good one.
Yeah. Then we've got Storm King's Thunder. X triple red. When you cast your next instant or sorcery this turn, copy that spell X times, and you may choose new targets for the copies.
I love that card so much.
Yeah. Neat art on this one I love it.
It's a pretty silly one. Like you need mana to dump into it, but wow, does it go off if it does go off? I only have one copy of it. That's all I could find. And it's in Veyran, where it's all about
Yeah, once you got your things like Neheb or Stormkill Artist, this card goes silly.
Yeah, I guess you do have crazy, again, with the Neheb example, right? Like one Lightning Bolt, 9 mana, that lets you spent 1 mana for the turn because Neheb was out. Lightning Bolt, you got 9 mana, so now you've got 3 and 6 to dump in, so your next spell is by 6. That's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
You've also got this Thrill of Possibility. 1 in red. As an additional cost to cast it, you discard a card. You draw 2 cards. I like these loot effects.
Yeah.
I've started liking them a lot more lately.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And the final instant we've got in here is Tybalt's Trickery. 1 in a red. You can counter target spell. Choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. Its controller mills that many cards and exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an odd-land card with a different name than that spell. They may cast that card without paying its mana cost and put the exiled cards at the bottom of their library in a random order.
I like that spell a lot. It's really annoying and it's really fun to do on Sol Ring. Tybalt's Trickery, Tybalt's Trickerying a Sol Ring is just peak gameplay.
Keep your head on a swivel there, Brian.
Yeah, right. 31 lands. You guys are doing lands like monsters right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The War Room is a nice inclusion where you just pay 3, you draw a card. You don't have to. You pay 1 life instead.
Yeah.
Not horrible.
1 life for a card doesn't matter to me at all.
Well, especially how much you can dish out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got a section called More Damage. I like this one. We started off with this City on Fire. The fact that you can convoke this out too, you've got a lot of really little creatures, so it is going to help pay it down. Mm-hmm. And then the fact that you can get the what's the word I'm thinking? Your young pyromancer creatures they would really, really help something like this out. It's 5 triple red, has convoke. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent player, deals triple that damage instead. That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. Yeah,
adds up really quickly.
Well, again, lightning bolt turns from you hit 1 creature for 3 into 1 creature for 9, and then each player for 27.
Yep.
Oh no, sorry. Each player you'd do 27 total, but still nothing. Yeah, because it'd do 9 to each opponent, right?
9 to each opponent, then that will be tripled.
Oh,
so it would be 27.
It would be because Imodane is a separate. So it's tripled on the first time. It's tripled on the cast. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
So that replacement stack, that's very exciting. So hit 3 damage, triples to 9 when you hit the Birds of Paradise that you're targeting, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Imodane triggers, puts 9 damage on the stack for each opponent. City on Fire checks the replacement and says triple it, so you take 27 each. 27 on a lightning bolt, which is math I'm not willing to do at the moment.
Yeah. Then if that wasn't enough, we've got Dictate of the Twin Gods.
That's 81 damage. I did the math.
81 total?
Yeah. 81 total before the creature.
That brings that to 120 you need to do down by quite a lot.
Yeah, like again, Imodane is a very, very, very viable burn commander.
Mm-hmm. Next one we've got is Dictate of the Twin Gods. 3 double red for an enchantment. It's got flash. If a source would deal to a permanent or if a source would deal damage to a permanent or player, deals double that damage to the permanent or player instead. Which
again is going to stack in that weird way. All of these are going to interact, and usually you get to choose. Like if I've got multiple effects, right? Like Fiery Emancipation, Dictate of Twin Gods. I choose which it does first, right? So like I'm obviously not going to like double like 1 damage to 2 and then triple it to 6. I'm going to, I'm going to take the lower path it is every time. Like I'll do the triple on the lowest number, then double.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But that doesn't matter with this Imodane thing because it's all after. You're just taking the full brunt of it.
Yeah.
And really, if there's 2 of these out, it doesn't matter the order you apply them in when Imodane's going to hit you.
No.
That's going to make most cards a 1-hit kill. With City on Fire and Dictate of Twin Gods, you're even at the minimum. That's going to be like I said,
62 damage.
Well, 27 to each opponent is going to be doubled. That is 56
54.
each. 54, yeah, kill.
Yeah.
Dead.
And this one's a bit of a group hug card too because it helps everybody out.
It does double everyone's damage.
And then we've got Fiery Emancipation. 3 triple red. This one doesn't have Convoke, unfortunately. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, deals triple that damage to that permanent or player instead.
Right. That is, all of these are gross. Every one of these.
Yeah.
You're a bad person if you get these out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Imodane, I talk all the time about like commanders. I don't really think a lot of things are must kills, right? You can't leave this commander on the board. It cannot stay. The command tax on this has got to be crazy because you need it. You need it to be.
Yeah.
Again, your Fiery Inscription, 2 double red, which was a great card, by the way. I really like it. The Ring Tempting you, doesn't matter in this. But whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, 2 damage to each opponent. That's a lot. That is a big spell slinging card.
Yeah.
Like that is a really, really rough one. That's I really run that in every Izzet deck I can right now because it's it's just insult to injury when you start counterspelling things and everyone take 2 damage. And then you got to sit there and be like, it's not me doing it. It's Slothy. If he stops casting these spells, he'll stop damaging everyone.
Yeah,
he's making me.
Something I find really funny too is if you've got a few of these damage enhancer cards out, you can kill people with things like Thrill of Possibility.
That's fun. Oh yeah, that's really funny. That's just disrespectful. Yeah. Throw out Thrill of Possibility, have it do 2 damage, tripled to 6, doubled 18.
6, 12, and then times 3, so 36, just with the ones that we've talked about so far.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. You've also got your Furnace of Wrath, which is a great card, especially if you know the story. Just like the Plane of Wrath, like the Wrathy overlay was really, really cool. I've got to do some more lore stuff because I think people generally like the lore stuff. But
the lore stuff's really fun.
But at the end of the day, I like the lore stuff, so we're probably going to do more of it soon. I want to do the Wilds of Eldraine story because I have no idea what's going on right now. Magic is all wonky with what's going on in the story with Planeswalkers and everything. I should address it. So it's 1 triple red. If a source would deal damage to a creature or player, deals double that damage to that creature or player instead. Just a good old double down.
Yeah. Then we've got Gratuitous Violence. 2 triple red for an enchantment. If a creature you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, deals double that damage instead.
So double for you. Is Imodane specifically dealing the damage?
Imodane is specifically dealing the damage.
Yeah, it's gross. That's really gross.
Yeah.
This is I'm glad this doesn't have access to green. Like that this wasn't a Gruul commander, you know what I mean? If I could get like some of those Snake Umbras and Totem Umbras on it where I draw whenever I deal damage, yuck. And the ability to rat, like I'm glad that these are high cost spells for a reason.
Yeah. 100%.
You have Solfim as well, the Mayhem Dominus. I think that the Dominus cycle was one of the best things that's come out for Magic in a long time.
100%.
It's so good. They were very, very crackable. A lot of packs that I saw were including cards like this, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're just awesome, and the fact that they all do like great things in it. This is affordable damage double, right? Like it's $10 price tag. It's still a big chunk of change for a card, which is fine. But it's on a 5/4 body that you can 1 double Phyrexian red, discard 2 cards, put an indestructible counter on it. That's great because your doublers are going to be removal targets. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And then if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or permanent opponent controls, it deals double that damage to that player instead. Player or permanent. Like, that's just great. At 4 mana, these were, like this, Mondrak, they were all great.
Zopandrel.
Zopandrel, Drivnod, I think, is the black one. I can't remember what the blue one is. What is the blue Dominus?
Let's see.
The blue Dominus is something, I'll tell you.
So, we've got Mondrak is the white one. Tekethal, Inquiry Dominus. If you proliferate twice instead.
I'm not much of a proliferate player, so that one's not super applying to me. But again, just another token doubler in white was great. The damage doubler in red really fit. Zopandrel's a problem. Menace. You're
absolutely.
a problem. You're a real problem. You know? Yeah, no, I really, really like them. I think when we do our end of the year stuff with all of our favorites, that a lot of these Dominuses are going to find their way onto my list of it, and probably your guys' as well, because they were just great for the year.
Absolutely.
And then you've obviously got your Torbran.
Also fetchable with Imperial Recruiter.
It is also fetchable. True. Dominus is not. Torbran, Thane of Red Fell, 1 triple red, which was my burn commander for a while. It's a dwarf noble legendary creature, 2/4. If a red source you control would deal damage to an opponent or permanent opponent controls, it deals that much +2. That's what I was talking about with how they apply.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I grape shot you for 1, you can be like, I will double the 1 to 2 and then add 2, rather than like do add 1, take 2, then double to 6, right? So it's nice to know that you can put replacement effects how you want them to apply to you.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But yeah, this is Torbran was I liked Torbran a lot. It was a very fun deck, but it just wasn't fast enough. It just didn't have the speed to keep up with and deal with a full pod who is annoyed that I'm burning them.
Yeah, exactly.
But let me tell you, Imodane does.
Imodane solves that problem real well.
Yeah. You've got a Planeswalker here.
Yeah.
Take it away.
We've got Chandra, Torch of Defiance, 2 double red for Legendary Planeswalker Chandra with 4 loyalty. +1, exile the top card of your library. You may cast that card, and if you don't, Chandra deals 2 damage to each opponent. You can +1 to add double red. -3 to have Chandra deal 4 damage to target creature. And then -7, you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell. This emblem deals 5 damage to any target.
That emblem's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, this is hitting ramp for you, which is great. Constant +1. It's hitting your damage to everyone theme.
Yeah.
Or letting you dig for like lands or cheap cards. But that emblem is just nuts.
Yeah, it's
that emblem's probably a game is over. Because again, it's Imodane is when any source, like any non-combat, right?
Imodane has to be instant or sorcery.
Oh, okay. So you're at least not. So then it's only 5 extra damage on cast, right?
Only.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's rough. You have a big single target spot.
Yeah. Do we want to hit that one last?
Sure. Let's scroll on down to our sorceries. Oh no, you got so many more. You got so many sections here. I don't know what to do with myself.
I like my things organized.
Not me. I could never. We started off with Faithless Looting in your sorceries. You won. You draw 2 cards, discard 2 with flashback. Great loot for when you're struggling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Then we've got Past in Flames, 3 in a red. Each instant and sorcery in your graveyard gains flashback until end turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost, and it's got flashback for 4 in a red.
I like the artwork on that card when you see it up close and big like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You also have your Twin Flame. Where is there we go. No, still not. There we go. Twin Flame. Spell cost 2 in a red. More for each target. It's 1 in a red. You choosing a number of target creatures you control. For each of them, you create a token that's a copy, except it has haste. Exile them at the next end step. That's great. Just the fact that you can make so many copies of your important creatures, even just your Imperial Recruiter, right? Dump a ton of mana into it. Fetch all your big cards.
Or even our Dualcaster Mage as well.
Yeah, Dualcaster's disgusting to keep putting it on the stack. I think that combos with itself, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because
I totally didn't even realize I had both of them in there until just now.
Yeah, because
I didn't put that together.
Strive, choosing a number. Yeah, so as long as you have like 1 extra copy, every time the 1 resolves, you're just going to constantly, you can make infinite Dualcasters with 5 mana.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you still need to cast your Dualcaster, but again, boo-hoo, right?
This is a combat damage deck.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Yeah, I can't. You have protection from instants and sorceries. Well.
See what we can do about that.
I actually don't know this card.
This next one here?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it's... Take it away.
Just normal. You never see it. Wild Guess, 2 red. It's an M14 card. As an additional cost to cast it, you discard a card, you draw 2 cards. No guts, no glory.
Yeah. This one only had 2 printings, one in M13 and one in M14.
Yeah. Again, not one that I've seen played like at all.
No.
That's cool. I like learning new cards.
Yeah.
We've got our rock section here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have ramp somewhere in here. We're good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're good.
Take it away with our start.
Yeah. We've got our Arcane Signet. 2 mana. You can tap it to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity.
Solid. A Fell Warstone. 2 mana, add 1 mana of any color your opponents can produce. Again, you're just rocking mana to get these big cards out, right?
Yeah. Then we've got Iron Mirror. 2 mana artifact creature mirror. So 1/1. You can tap it to add red.
A lot of 2 mana rocks. You're gonna be ramping pretty great in this. So your commander's gonna come out early. And your commander's going to die. You need to get it back out. You need ramp.
Yeah.
2 mana, you tap, add 1 colorless, or pay 1, sack it, draw a card. That's going to matter a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love to see this in your ramp section. I like this a lot. Primal Amulet. So you technically aren't running 31 lands. My criticism is no longer valid. Now it's only 32, you animal. It's so we've got Primal Amulet. 4 mana, instants and sorceries, you cost her 1 less. That's great reduction in a instant sorcery deck. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, put a charge counter on it. If there's 4 or more, you may remove them. And transform it into Primal Wellspring, which is one of my favorite lands to ever have access to in the game. You tap, you add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. When it's spent for an instant or sorcery, copy it. You may choose new targets. It's just great. It does everything you want in those decks.
Yeah, 100%.
Look at that. There we go.
Then we've got Pyromancer's Goggles. This one's 5 mana for a legendary artifact. You can tap it to add red, and when this mana is spent to cast a red instant or sorcery spell, copy it, and you may choose new targets.
Yeah. Again, another great one. This is not as playable in multicolor decks, obviously, right? Because you lose it half the time. But in a red deck, it's quite the rock.
Yeah, absolutely. It puts in a lot of work.
Yeah, it's quite the mana rock. You've got your Ruby Medallion. 2 mana, your red spells are 1 less to cast.
Yeah. Then this next one is Runaway Steamkin, 1 in a red for a 1/1 elemental. Whenever you cast a red spell, if Runaway Steamkin has fewer than 3 +1/+1 counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and you can remove 3 +1/+1 counters from it to add triple red.
That's not bad. Nice little mana battery kind of effect.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a Soul Ring in the deck. I knew it. I was like, this a mono red burn deck, no Soul Ring, no ramp. What's this guy doing? What sorcery is he? What sorceries abound? Your normal, your typical. You tap 1, you add 2. Everyone knows what it does. Take the next one away, though, please.
Sure.
So many people, really quickly, even before that, so many people kept telling me, "Oh, this card's not actually that good. It's not even going to be playable." It's very good.
This card is so good.
Very good, yeah.
This one's already on one of my lists for some of the best cards of the year.
Yep. Well, it's crazy. Again, like even in a 2-color deck, it's very good.
Mm-hmm. But enough of the suspense. We've got Throne of Eldraine. 5 mana for a legendary artifact. When it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Tap it to add 4 mana of the chosen color. Spend this mana only to cast monocolored spells of that color. 3 mana and tap it to draw 2 cards. Spend only mana of the chosen color to activate this ability.
The turn this comes down, you're essentially spending 1 mana.
Yes. That's
such a good card. It's like the argument that it's anything but an amazing card is wild to me, because again, if you have access to 5 mana, you get 4 of it back the first turn, and then it only goes from there. Your next turn, you're up to 9, even if you miss your land drop.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you need to, you can just draw some cards off of it.
Yeah, exactly. You draw 2 again, a tap, pay 3 to draw 2 cards is a very good ability. Like that is a great tap and untap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's every part of this is great. The artwork of it with all of like the knights of like the different sections there, like pray into the empty throne there. It's just a phenomenal, every part about the card. I think it's fairly costed. I think the abilities are great. I love this card.
Yeah, 100%.
It's one I need to pick up a lot of, but again, it's not really in stock enough to do that yet.
Yeah,
but it's
exactly
great. Yeah, everyone should send me there. Send me Throne of Eldraine as a thank you. That's me at the end of episodes. If you like the content, just here's my PO box. Send me the just send off some Throne of Eldraine and some basic lands. I'm running out of those too.
Nice.
All right, now let's start your mighty section here.
Yeah,
the real meat and potatoes. Yeah.
Section. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, we've got a Braid, which is really cool in so many ways. Again, I love utility in cards. I love everything Amonkhet, and that's the Locust God coming out there, which is we've got 1 in a red. You choose 1, destroy target artifact is the first mode, which is again just good removal to have. But that's not what we're using it for. A Braid deals 3 damage to target creature, which is gross.
Yeah,
it's very gross.
Then we've got Banefire, X in a red. Banefire deals X damage to any target. If X is 5 or more, the spell can't be countered and the damage can't be prevented.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Teferi's protection. Oh, is it?
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Can't be countered is great. You know, it's it gets through locks. It gets through players like Dean, monster.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's Banefire is great, but yeah, the can't be prevented is one of my favorite lines in Magic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love to kill people through their prevent all damage stuff. Nope. You have your Cathartic Pyre. 1 in red. Choose one again. Another modal card. Great. 3 damage target creature or planeswalker, which is wonderful. Discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. We can loot if we're in trouble, or we can just bam. A lot of lightning bolt effects.
Yeah.
Leave behind the sorrow of this body. Be blessed being of light. Yikes.
Then we've got Crackle with Power, triple X and double red. Crackle Power deals 5 times X damage to each of up to X targets.
That's gross. Let's unpack that one quickly. If you hit, let's say we have 5 mana. We crackle with power for 1. That's already like 1 damage is going to be 5. It's going to multiply to 15. If we have 2 to dump into that X, we've got 2 targets that we can do. What's that?
10 damage.
10 damage? Yeah, that's 30 before it. This card's going to exponentially go silly. But if you can hit that X as 5 and do 25 damage to 5 targets, then there's no more game. Then it's shaking Slothy's hand time. Yeah. Right? That Crackle with Power is such a cool card.
Mm-hmm. Strixhaven was such a good set.
Yeah, 5 times damage. Any of those multiplied cards are wonderful.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, right. I like that a lot. Oh, I like this one too a lot. I'm going to take this one as well. Your Demon Fire, X and a red. X damage target creature or player. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile instead. Wonderful removal. And then also Hellbent. If you have no cards in your hand, it can't be countered by spells or abilities, and it can't be prevented. That is a great way to end the game off. I got nothing. You think you've got a counter spell ready for me? That's fine.
Yeah.
I really like the artwork on this card too. I've always loved this one. I have a lot of Hellbent kind of decks where the whole point is discarding out, and it's just so it functions so well.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Then we've got Electro Dominance, X double red for an instant, deals X damage to any target, and you may cast a card with mana value X or less from your hand without paying its mana cost.
That's also kind of ramped there too, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Electro Dominance. You don't see that card played very much either right now.
No.
But that is a wicked.
I don't know.
It's a wicked bolt spell to dump mana into.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just an absolute sucker for Ravnica.
I loved it. I loved all of it. It's so cool.
My favorite plane.
I love the flavor text on it too. Basically, we turn a bunch of little lightnings into one big lightning. That's how Imodane works. That's what Imodane. Exactly. That's the theme of this deck. You've got this Fire Prophecy as well. 1 in a red. 3 damage to target creature. You can put a card from your hand on the bottom. If you do, draw. That's good.
Yep.
There's a lot of weird looking arts in this. This is a nice one too. That'd be nice in foil.
Yeah.
You've got the old Bolt de Feu Fireball. Love it. Take it away.
Yeah. We got Fireball, X and a red. This spell costs 1 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Deals X damage divided evenly, rounded down among any number of targets.
Again, great to spread it out across the table with. It's cards like this that Fireball's good, but Fireball's not very good in the 4-man format.
This one, you probably wouldn't want to spread out.
I would want to spread it out, wouldn't you?
I don't think that wouldn't trigger Imodane then, because it has to target a single creature. So like all the copying stuff, targeting individual.
Oh yes, single. Okay. So I
just wanted this one in the deck. So
you'd have to give the mighty Fireball.
Yeah,
that's fair. Okay, yes. So it's single target. I guess, we talked about this earlier that you can't just blasphemous act the board.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. Well, then 1 big Fireball.
Yeah, I really wanted to keep this one in the deck just so every time I play it, I can say, I didn't ask how big the room was. I said,
I cast Fireball.
I cast Fireball.
Yeah. I like that. Ooh, that's weird flavor text. You take this next one.
Sure. Yeah, we got Flame Slash. It's 1 red for sorcery. It deals 4 damage to target creature.
Mm-hmm. Good. It's that's a solid 1-drop, but I just like the flavor text and the artwork of it being burned, the tree. After many millennia of sleep, the Eldrazi had forgotten about Zendikar's fiery temper and dislike of strangers. Whoops.
Oops.
Take it away, please, Slothy.
This next one here?
Yeah, please.
Sure. Yep. We were talking about it earlier, but we've got our Grape Shot. 1 in red for sorcery, deals 1 damage to any target, and Storm.
Yeah, Grape Shot's going to be disgusting in this deck.
Yeah.
Especially with any of your... The way that the triple damage and double damage is stacked in this, getting a Grape Shot off is going to be disgusting. It's going to be probably, again, game ending. Yep. I truly wish, and I understand that this is not a good take, I truly wish that they would reprint this card as an instant. You want to storm off and take a 30-minute turn? Be my guest, but I'm going to Grape Shot you.
This if this was printed at an instant, this would be the bane of Dean's existence.
Yeah, I would love this. Dean wants to Shrieking Drake for 30 minutes. That's fine with me. The problem with this as well, like, a lot of people, Storm's such an annoying mechanic, and a lot of people don't know how it works. Mm-hmm. Countering it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's when you cast it, you copy it for each spell. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and counter spell me. That's
why.
That's probably why they don't do it anymore, because it's so obnoxious.
Yeah. That's why that what's that counter spell called?
Whirlwind Denial. Counter everything on the stack unless they pay 4 for each.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's important.
Yeah, there's a few that like exile all cards on the stack, which is rough. Grape Shot again is going to be just a fun card to cast in this deck. It's a fun card to cast at any time. If you've got Grape Shot in the deck, there's a reason for it. The my Myria deck, where it's like the Chaos Warp kind of deck.
Yeah,
it's so fun to displace or kitten Grape Shot. It's such a nice little combo there.
Oh yeah.
We have Insult and Injury. 2 in a red is the first half. It's a sorcery. Damage can't be prevented. If a source would deal damage, this turn deals double. Great. We want to double damage anyways. Injury, the other half, is 2 in a red. You cast it after. And from your graveyard, 2 damage to target creature, 2 damage to target player. Both are things we like.
Yeah.
That one would work with Imodane, right? Because it's single target creature, single target player. Am I wrong?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. But even so, the first half makes up for it anyway, if not.
Yeah, the double's great.
Then we've got Lightning Axe. 1 red. As an additional cost to cast it, discard a card or pay 5. It deals 5 damage to target creature.
Yeah, I would discard, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not casting that for 6.
No.
But you're rocking 20 damage with it for 1.
Exactly.
That's gross. Lightning Axe is a really cool card. All of those additional cost ones are fun.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your Lightning Bolt. You need to get the Secret Lair Bear one.
The Secret Lair Bear.
Yeah. Go check that. Go check that version while we talk Lightning Bolt, obviously.
Yeah.
I've mentioned it so many times. This would have been criminal in the deck. If I had talked about Lightning Bolt this whole time and it wasn't in your list, I would have left the room in shame.
Yeah,
just powered. Go ahead.
That's the version of it I have.
Oh, the Hadouken? The Hadouken is also great. If I died to someone yelling Hadouken, I probably would be pretty upset, but I'd probably laugh like pretty, you know what I mean? Like just Slothy's over there button mashing. Storm King's Thunder. Hadouken, Hadouken, Hadouken. Yeah. I would like that. That would humor me pretty greatly. Yeah, that's a very nice one. I actually didn't know that there was a Street Fighter version of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the secret card with the Street Fighter secret.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wicked one. Yeah, Lightning Bolt, if I hadn't read it, I can't remember if I did. So I'm going to read it again if I did. It's 1 red, 3 damage to any target, like no one knows what it does. It's one of the best cards of the Boon cycle. Probably the second or third best. Obviously, the blue one is the best. Ancestral, draw 1 blue, draw 3. Unban it. What are we talking about, right?
It's not even a problem.
Unban it, reprint it, and let's look at what sales do. Record quarter. You also have your Lightning Strike, which, again, I was hoping was in the deck because I just like that one. 1 in a red for an instant. Lightning Strike deals 3 damage to any target. Just kablam!
Yeah.
It's always onto my commanders or things that I don't want to die. Or into the Kami, the one that's just whenever you tap for its power. I really like that one right now, and I get it bolted a lot. It's just a lot.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, because that one's Dominaria United. That's definitely standard right now with their weird thing, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Everything's standard right now.
Yeah, standard's weird.
Standard is weird. Ooh, I like this. Take this one away. This is cool. I've never used it for the second half.
Yeah. We've got Perforos's Intervention. X and a red for a sorcery. You can choose one. Create an X1 red elemental creature token with Trample and Haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Or Perforos's Intervention deals twice X damage to target creature or planeswalker.
That's mean. The twice damage is rough.
Yeah. Yeah, this one, there's very little, kind of unlike with Crackle with Power, where you had to pay 3x. Having only 1x makes it so much.
It's a great mana sink, especially with with your Neheb huge dump mana.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just being able to get you could probably nearly kill the table with the Lightning Axe alone. You Lightning Axe is 1 red mana, which is gonna hit 15 damage. Yeah. And then you have 15, so a second red mana and your 15 reduction is gonna do
30 damage to target creature.
Yeah, 30 damage to target creature. So yeah, that's game. That's 35 damage off you spending 2 mana if you have Neheb out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really like how there's so many things in this deck that take you from 0 to 60 so fast, right? Like Neheb can't stay on the board, and neither can Perforos.
No. Not in the slightest.
No, that can't be allowed to happen. We also have a Red Sun Zenith, X and a red. X damage to target creature or player. Love to see it. If a creature dealt damage this way would be put into a graveyard, exile it. Again, great. And you shuffle it in.
Yeah.
It's hitting lots of great stuff for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we've got Roast. 1 in a red. Deals 5 damage to target creature without flying. People don't run flyers. It's fine.
That's there's going to be someone at the table who doesn't have a flyer, right?
Yeah.
That someone may even be you, because it's not Imodane isn't opponents, right?
No.
Yeah,
that's why Brash Taunter and Stuffy Doll are so important.
Yeah, right. You can just roast the Stuffy Doll.
Yeah.
Which is silly. You have your Seismic Strike. 2 in a red. Deals damage to target creature equal to the number of mountains you control. That can be pretty big.
Yeah.
That can be a late game, really, really big. What does Thunder say? You convinced me I have to build Imodane. Luckily got her in an Eldraine. Yeah, I know, right? It's a pretty silly one. Imodane, like I said, it can just go so fast, so quick. Red deck go.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got 33 lands. Let's
fast.
Go. Yeah. I need some applause. I need applause music.
It's more than my average. Here, do you want to take this one?
I'm looking for applause. I don't have applause set up on that one. All right. But I'm putting applause on the board for you next time. So here's Slothy's 33rd land. It's Shatterskull, the Hammer Pass. Enters, you can pay 3 life, the Bolt land. If you don't, it enters tapped. Red, great. But it's front face, X double red. Shatterskull smashing deals X damage divided among you as you choose among up to 2 target creatures and or players. If X or planeswalker, if X is 6 or more, deals twice that damage. That's good. Yeah. Up to 2 target is still technically a single target if you only choose one.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. And another doubler, which is great in the land slot. You'll love to see it.
Yeah.
I take it all back. I just saw your other card.
Go ahead, read it.
We have a Shivan Meteor. 3 double red, 13 damage to target creature. That's not enough mana cost for that.
Act.
Yeah, that blasphemous act on players.
Yep.
13 damage to target creature at 5. That's a lot. That's gonna.
And you can suspend it.
Yeah, and I haven't even got to the suspend. Suspend 2. That's funny to just know it's coming. Just your birds of paradise has 2 turns. Daniel, enjoy it. Please don't. Please don't. I have a family.
Play this against Brian's dinosaur deck.
Yeah, that's really funny. Yeah, any of his Zakama, the meteor wipes it out. That's really good. Yeah, so it's our suspend is 1 double red. So again, we've possibly cast this for 3 mana, but 13 damage to target creature. That's a lot of damage to take on top of your creature dying.
Yeah,
that's on top. That's on top of that's Emrakul level power.
Mm-hmm.
We're meteoring titans here. That's a great card. That's not one I've seen in a very, very long time. That put a genuine smile on my face, so you know.
I'm glad. This next one can also go pretty silly. Spite of Mogus, single red, and it'll deal damage to target creature equal to the number of instant and sorceries in your graveyard and Scarwind.
Again, that's a game ender, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
A game ender you don't see ever. Because that's a lot of damage. Generally speaking, a lot of these cards, the reason they're so unplayed and the reason I'm not seeing them is they're huge damage, but they're huge damage to a creature. And it doesn't, okay, whatever, I've got a little bit of creature damage. It's not got the utility. But when you staple creature damage to everyone damage, that really changes the math of this card. Like this 35-cent uncommon, and this is just a card that can just bring the thunder to the table.
Yeah, this could just wipe everybody out.
And it's so fun to threat assess because I can see okay, Slothy's done his turn, he's crackled with power, but he only has 1 red left. What could it possibly be? Yikes. Storm King Thunder's Spite of Mogus? Yeah, it's I really, really like this card. It's a really cool inclusion. You've got a lot of cards in this deck that you don't see and that I haven't seen in ages playing. I really, really like this one.
Sweet.
And a lot of cards that are really gross.
Yeah, fair enough.
Take it away, yeah.
Yeah, next one we've got is Spitting Earth, 1 and a red for sorcery. Deals damage to target creature equal to the number of mountains you control.
I like that. Again, another endgame bomb. No Valakut in here. Where's your Valakut? Give everyone lightning bolts on your landfall.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like this.
Doesn't want to be too mean.
You have your Stone Splitter Bolt, X and a red. It's got Bargain. You can sack an artifact, enchantment, or token as you cast it. X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If it's bargained, X damage, twice X to that permanent instead. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's a really, really cool one because you're going to have a lot of little tokens from your treasure kind of things, right? But you also have a big artifact section.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I love this card. I use this one a lot right now.
This next one?
Yeah. You
take it away.
You take it away. Finish us off. But I do use this one tons right now.
Sure. Yeah, this is Volcanic Spite, 1 and a red. Deals 3 damage to target creature, planeswalker, or battle. You put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library, and if you do, draw a card.
I just love it as a nice little piece of removal. It's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I got to say, I really, really like the direction you went with this. It's very fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to actually put it together in paper and bring it out to the game store.
To rock this Spite of Mogus on the table and bring the glory of the end times. But also with the Ixalan set coming out, you have to Shivan Meteor Brian's Dragons. I will play group. I'll play his dinosaur. Sorry, I'll play group hug in that deck. I'll give you Spectral Spotlight mana. I'll donate. I'll give you a treasure nabber. Tap my rocks. We'll get it done.
Absolutely, that has to happen.
Yeah, the Shivan Meteor is a cool card. Like I said, I really like this list. You put together a very cool one. It's pretty low cost. Average curve is 2.8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, saw this commander and was like immediately. I think I was actually driving home from Edmonton when I first saw this commander, and I immediately messaged our group and was like, "Okay, I'm building this."
I was gonna say it's really funny whenever we see spoilers, which is every 2 weeks at this point. But like we see something we like, we're like dibs.
Yeah.
I really, really like this one. This was a very, very cool card, and I'm happy to see that it's such a budget card, like 49 cents for a really cool playable card.
Yeah, absolutely. And it kind of fits with the whole burn usually being the cheapest deck in any specific format.
Yep.
Because you can build this one way more budget than I did, and then mine's only
even the high budget version. Yeah, exactly. Like, what's your biggest section? You've got 40 in your creature, 21, 15, 47. Yeah, like all of these are pretty small. Repercussion would have been a great enchantment in this deck too, especially because it just got reprinted, and I think is like cheap right now.
Repercussion is, where are you? There you are.
It should have another version, I believe.
This one's actually the cheapest version.
The Wilds of Eldraine one's more expensive?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, no way.
Or no, it's saying, no, that was a secret lair version, sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, the Wilds of Eldraine version looks like it's like $2.
Yeah.
The Wilds of Eldraine reprints were pretty insane.
That one could bite me as well.
Oh, because you technically bolt so much of your own things as well?
Yeah.
But it's such a good card. I love it so much.
It is.
Whenever a creature's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to that creature's controller.
It would put in a ton of work.
That's one of my favorite cards in Firesong Sunspeaker. Being able to, with everything life linking, being able to blasphemous act the board and have it do so much damage is just a treat. It's a real delight.
Yeah.
Kills everyone. Not me. Not me. I'm usually able to survive it because of that life link. Damage no longer on the stack. All at once. We're good to go. We're not back in the old days. Yeah, no, this is a very, very cool list. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah.
You said that you're in the middle of assembling this one?
Yeah.
This is a cool one. I've got I was talking a little bit in the patron chat right before we go. I have a silly deck that I'm getting ready to gear up for on our first time streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be fun to make myself a nice little secret alliance with you, because you'll never kill me through this new deck with this. Impossible. I've got too much life gain. It's only a life gain deck in 3 colors. So it's I'm safe. I'm safe from you. But I would love a nice secret alliance game on stream with something like this, where we both just be mean to Brian with it. Because the deck I'm doing, the whole point of my deck, it's a fight deck. So your Zangief deck would be proud, and this would just be so funny where all the creatures, like you're bolting his creatures and burning them. I'm doing it. Brian doesn't listen through our episodes. He'll never know. He'll never know it's coming. But everyone who watches on YouTube and does listen, they'll all know. They'll all know that Brian's in for a world of hurt, and he won't even see it coming. He'll just be thinking he's having a great game with his friends. No one tell him. It's all good. It'll be a great time. No one mentioned it to him. We did this before with Orvar. We set up a stream game, and me, Zach, and Benson all played Orvar into a Selvala deck. Mm-hmm. Like we just like pretended we're like, okay, like we'll all reveal our commanders, and Zach's like, I'll play Orvar, and Benson's like, oh no way, I'm gonna play my Orvar too. And Brian's like, oh, that's weird. And then I flipped mine over. He's like, I hate you guys. We just kept cloning his state. It was a really fun game. But yeah, no, this is a very fun one. I'm really excited to see this one rock and roll on. I'm really excited to see the Spite of Mogus just hit like a truck.
Absolutely. I think, like you were saying, all these cheap, like 30-cent throwaway sorceries from standard sets of the past are just absolutely phenomenal.
Unless you're rolling this into a life gain deck, this is rough. This is it's not something most decks can come back from, because you have to focus all of your removal into Imodane, and focusing all your removal in a game leaves you like open to get blindsided really, really easily. Like you can die so fast. It's just not ideal, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just the fact that like Imodane is such a removal target is so funny because again, it's just I'm just a 4/4. It's okay.
Yeah,
but it's
he can survive a bolt.
It's really fun because it takes away whenever you play any of these normal archetypes that are one centric, right? Like your mill, your burn. You have to pick someone. You can't spread it out. People who try and spread the mill out and like try to be like 3 damage here, 3 damage there. It's not like a creature deck. You have to do it to one player because you're just going to draw the ire of the table if you try and mill everyone, right? That's why cards like, what is the 1 mana? Alter the Brood. That's why Alter the Brood makes people so mad. Alter the Brood is one of the cards that I just see hit the table and everyone targets that person because they don't like it, right? But you don't want to be mean to one person. You don't want to say, I mill you for 3, I mill you for 3, I mill you for 3. So people try to spread it around. This solves that problem for you. This makes it so there's no need to try and be like, okay, I'll bolt Daniel a little bit. And then I'll bolt. No, I bolt everyone. Like you said, I didn't ask how big the room was. I cast Fireball.
Exactly.
Yeah, sort it out later.
Yeah.
I really, really like this one a lot.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to bust it out and beat Brian up with it.
Yeah, right. He'll never know. It'll be fun. He'll never know. Brian should be listening to the show for quality assurance reasons, but he'll never know. He'll never know. Yeah, let's end her there. Thank you guys so much for getting to the end of the episode. We all know Brian didn't. We all know he didn't. He's not part of this. But yeah, if you like our content, go to into99.com. We just did a ton of games, live ones. They're really, really fun. We should be rocking a bunch of those out in the coming week, I guess. Yeah, if you're listening to this week, it'll be this week is a recording week. I'm not going to specify what week you'll find it in time. But if not, they'll be up on YouTube. There's a lot of cool ones. There's a really fun Slothy one with my brother's deck. Like I said, Slothy got some cool ones in. We got lots of great ones. We'll be back to in-person streaming again now that Wild season's over. We go into Canadian Thanksgiving where we all eat like goose instead of turkey. Eat goose in the igloo. Yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff planned for coming up. That if you like what we're doing, like, share, subscribe. It really, really matters a lot to us. Show your friends this and stuff. Don't show Brian. Never show him. It's fine. But he'll figure out when we gang up on him. But no, if you want to go above and beyond that, Patreon's the easiest way. It's a great way to come chat with us about deck building, about what we're going to put in, what we're building, and just what we're doing in life. So come there. It's another spot to support us. And if you don't want to do that, there's a easy free way to do it by liking and subscribing and even rating. Just say, hey, I love this podcast. That would mean a lot to us and the algorithm. So yeah, that's the end. Thank you guys for getting to the end. And yeah, have a great rest of your weeks.
See you later.